All right, this is how you start your morning off great. I got a cucumber, celery, ginger juice. It is delicious. Now that's the perfect meaning of a green machine drink this morning. So that's how we're starting off our day. And then we're gonna go out in the garden today, and we got some seeds from Fedco. I got some long beans, a moonbeam watermelon, a Paul Robeson tomato. Here's that noodle bean. I had some empty spots that I need to go and fill that didn't come up. Gold Rush wax bean. I got a Lebanese squash. And then we got a spinach. So we're gonna move forward with putting those in the ground this morning after we get our drink done. Just got off work basically. I came home, I made my birthday cake. And it's real sad looking. Look at that cake, it looks terrible. I don't know what happened. I think part of it is that I used the glass bowl, container, cooker, pan. And the other thing is that I used like whole coconut milk, like in the can. All right, so I was recording about my cake and then the stupid camera just died. Like GoPro, I'm telling you, man. And I just put that battery in and it was like battery's low. This thing just is wonky and does whatever it wants to do. So whatever, right? We move on. So anyway, so the cake, I don't know how that's gonna be. Like I said, I used a can of coconut milk instead of regular milk because I'm lactose intolerant, so I didn't want to use regular milk because I didn't want to be sick. And so it kind of got like shrunk and looks weird, but it all eats the same, I'm sure, so it'll be fine. I'm gonna throw some icing on it. It'll be a good birthday. If people don't like it, then don't eat it, right? That's what I say. All right, so I got some stuff in. I'm excited. I went up to our local like store for the like feed store, and I got a couple more like bags of dirt that I'm gonna put over here in this grow bucket. And so when my fiance gets home, because they're in like 3 cubic feet and that's like pretty heavy for me to pick up, so when he gets home he's got a little work he's got to help me with. But I have already been going around and I was like, dang, I need to take the camera. This is what happens. I come home from work and then I had the cake in the oven and I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and get some stuff planted, because one of my friends, she's so funny. She had sent me some stuff for my birthday and she told me she's funny. She's stockpiling up on toilet paper because she's concerned about the tariffs and stuff. And I'm like, girl, you need to get you a toilet paper plant, man. Like, don't be fretting over the other stuff. But anyway, you know, to each their own. At least she's prepping. She said she's doing some beans and some other stuff that she's been trying to save up on, just because we just don't know what's going to happen. And we all know that things are going to be tougher before they are going to be easier. So I like stockpiles seeds, some seeds for, I've been buying extra, like bigger bags, I should say. And this is, I actually ordered these on Amazon. This is, I think this is True Market, right? Yeah, this is True Market. This was that summer squash that I told you that So Exotic Seeds had. And it's called Calabaza de Castilla winter squash. I will put this in the video somewhere so that you guys have it. They were selling this for $22 for a like little start, plus it has to ship to me. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna do this myself, and I've got seeds, so you know, like I said, this was like, you know, like 10 bucks or something. I got this bigger package here. It's a 1 ounce package. And that's fine. I had some rewards points or whatever that I could use for it too, so I really didn't end up spending money on these. So what I did was I already kind of came out here and started planting, and this was one of the ones I wanted to tell you guys about. So, and I've been trying to utilize like every inch of space that I have, because if something doesn't grow or whatever, I want to make sure that I have something else kind of like near it or backing up behind it. So over here by my key lime, over here by the back side of the house, you see those 2 little holes right here? I have actually gone ahead and I could put one more over here. I have put these seeds in here. Let me show you what the seeds look like. They look like a regular type squash seed. Let me get it out. There you go. You see my fingers are already dirty because I've been digging in the dirt, but it's not that, it's like a decent sized seed. So this needs, you know, space for running. Now the problem here in Florida is, you see holes? You're gonna get bugs, and that's the reason why I struggle personally. If you don't pesticide or put neem oil or do something like that, I end up struggling really hard trying to keep my plants alive and happy, because the cabbage worms or whatever will get into them and just start to destroy them. So that's not cute. I did see, which I'm excited about, my turnips are already popping. Look, baby turnips. Little baby turnip. I'm excited. That's just a weed. There's a baby turnip. So as I say, I took one of those calabazas and stuck it there, and I'm gonna run it up this trellis if it actually starts to take off. Now over here, I don't really mess with these beds too much. I am putting in more right along the edge here. I put in 4 calabazas over there. And I also got, I'm gonna go get it. I did put some regular beans over there in that bucket. I don't think I took you guys along for that, but I ended up getting the big bag. I told you, like, when I've been ordering stuff, I've been getting like the big bag of things. So here is the Cherokee wax beans from Haas Tools. I got the 1 pound bag because I love wax beans. I will sit there and eat wax beans just by themselves. I enjoy wax beans. I don't necessarily have to can them or do whatever. I'll just pick them off the bush and eat them. And so I put some over there on that side of the bed. Now, I did also get, because I told you guys I want to be giving my bees some love, and I bought the 1 pound bag of, this is bee feed wildflower mix. And so this is 1 pound. And what I'm thinking is, now my fiance is probably not gonna be very happy with this idea that I have in my head, but you know, I usually get what I want. So there's nothing that we do on the back side of this house. Right here, you can see we have our air conditioner, and this is just all just space that is not utilized. It's not a good use of space for me, because I just don't come over on this side of the house too much. I don't really mess with stuff. And I was really thinking about kind of changing it up a little bit so that I am more focused over here. But I want to make it kind of nice too. I don't want it to be like, ugh, so that my neighbors complain or anything. My old man neighbor that lives next door, his wife died from cancer. He doesn't care what I do, but I was thinking about maybe putting it over here and just telling my fiance to kind of leave it alone for a little bit, and let's just see how it does and feed the bees. I don't know. I know my fiance likes a real pretty yard. He likes things to be like organized and in shape, and like lines when you go to a golf course or whatever. And that's not me. I'm like, oh, let's put this there. Like, I have this rogue tomato over here. This little guy came up all on its own, and I put a cage on it, and I'm like, you grow, baby. Like, you want to live, you live. Like, I want to redo this area. We had kind of talked about that. He's got to come out here and clean the side of the house, because we had a bunch of bushes and stuff over there, and it was just blocking, and so he didn't really have the opportunity to clean without putting some chemicals and stuff. And I've been trying to keep that more natural, so I'm trying to figure out how I actually want to do that. The other thing is y'all know that I had ordered from Strictly Medicinal Seeds, and I had been waiting on live plants to actually come in, and they hadn't arrived yet. I got some lemon balm, which I think lemon balm's gonna struggle a little bit, which is fine, like whatever. I like to try things. But I also got this, which is a blue ginger. So this is definitely a medicinal ginger, but I've been trying to keep everybody healthy and, you know, in good shape, so to speak, and just health wise. Like, these are the things that I think about when we talk about potentially going into a depression or a recession. Friends, you've got to think about your health. You've got to think about your well-being. You've got to think about what happens if someone gets sick, has migraines. My fiance deals a lot with migraines. I get headaches. I get nauseous. I get, you know, there's issues I have. Nobody is without their own set of issues. And so I want to be able to try to take care of myself and my family. Like, I think about those things. You know, I personally have anxiety, and so I try to think about, like, the lemon balm is a really great way to like ease that tension. And my dad has like some heart stuff, and so the blue butterfly pea flower will work really well for him. And that's what I'm saying, like, if you couldn't get a hold of your medications, you know, how could you treat yourself naturally? And you've got to be thinking about these types of things, because my, like I said, my friend, she's like stockpiling like toilet paper and stuff, and I'm thinking, like, personally, toilet paper is not my concern. Like, I got a lake out there. Worst case scenario, you know, listen, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. I'll go down to the lake and wash stuff if I have to. I've also been thinking about, now this has just kind of been tossing back and forth in my head. I've got 2 poles down there at the edge of the lake. I have a hammock, and they're massive poles that my fiance put in to kind of like stabilize for anybody that wanted to get in the hammock. And I know that in my neighborhood, it's not really like, I'm not gonna say it's frowned upon, but I just think people would be like, eh. I mean, if times got hard, they're probably just gonna be like, hey, it is what it is. Like, at least my neighbor next door, he wouldn't care. But like a clothesline, I've been thinking about doing that. We have a lot of wind and dirt that actually picks up. Like, we are always cleaning around here. Even my neighbor says that. I do not understand why we have so much dirt. I don't know where it comes from or why it's so like intense here, but it really actually is. Now they make one like a pole that I can actually put into my table over here, which, let me show you. And so I'm thinking about buying that, because you got to hang your clothes up if they're washed, even if they're hand washed. And my grandmother had this big like cylinder type thing that she used, and she was able to like wash clothes with it back in the day. And so that's why I'm like, well, maybe that's what I need to do. But anyway, the pole will actually fit in there, and it's got this like umbrella top that's like facing up. So if you flipped an umbrella up, it would be like that, and the pole would slip in there, and then it could just dry from here. And I'm hoping that maybe some of my like bushes like right here might block it. And then I'm considering getting some more black-eyed Susans and then running them along the back, so that it kind of like blocks out people actually looking at my laundry if it came down to it. I do have laundry line. That is something that I purchased because I had wanted to really kind of start doing that anyway and just being natural. It's very humid here a lot of times too, so that's something else that we're trying to take into consideration, is like what will truly work and what will just get stinky and gross and not be right. The other thing I wanted to make with you guys, and we haven't done it yet, I think maybe I might tag it onto the back of this video and I might do it, is making sun tea. A lot of people here in Florida, if you're in a warm climate, or you know, pretty warm, like, I mean, we're pretty roasty, if you have a glass container, you can actually put tea bags in it and let it sit out in the sun for a day. Now you let the lid kind of stay cracked so that the moisture and pressure doesn't really build up too much, like in a kettle, you know. You don't want it to explode, you don't want the lid cranked down on it. And I'll show you guys how to do that. I'd like to do that with you all because I think that it's important that you guys are learning these types of things so that we can kind of take care of ourselves. Like, you don't necessarily need something to heat that up. You could actually just use the sun to be kind of brewing your tea. Now it might not necessarily be as strong, but it will definitely work. So I want to do that with you all. I think that that's really important. So when I get, going back to the garden, so when I get my fiance to move the dirt over here into this bucket right there, I'm gonna put the cage on top of it, that little screen net thing. I watered it in really good already. I put some coop poop in it, and basically I would like to try to grow some cucumbers. That's really been my goal. I'm gonna stick some of the cages like that in it, my tomato cages. I'm gonna line them up in there, and then I'm just gonna circle around with the cucumbers and seeds, and let's see if they actually grow. I think they'll get enough shade that it'll be okay, but enough light that they'll also still continue to grow. Now I'm thinking that because I'm gonna have that top on it, because I'm trying to keep the worms out of it and not having to use neem oil, I think what's gonna end up happening is I'm gonna have to hand pollinate. So that's just, you know, kind of what's been tossing around in my head about how I kind of want to proceed. But cucumbers are something that's really good for detoxing the body. And you know, it's also good for hydration, which is kind of weird, but it's, you know, that flushing out of the system. And so that's something that I would really like to grow. I was able to grow a bunch of cucumbers like one time right before Christmas, and we did a bunch of pickling, my mom and I. We actually did pickles and stuff, and then I never got the cucumbers to grow again. They were just always getting attacked by the bugs. So I want to do that. And then I'm thinking, like I said, with this blue ginger, I might actually also put the blue ginger in that area too. I think that that's big enough that I might be able to split it, and then take the split and maybe put it over here in this other grow box. But I don't want them to intermingle, because I actually already have some ginger over here. It is not a blue ginger, but it's a regular, just like ginger. And I've also got, in this bucket, I've got turmeric. So I'm growing turmeric. Like I said, that's like healing, that's beneficial. That is definitely stuff that you need to be thinking about. And those are very costly. So, you know, when you're trying to like manage a budget and think about food that's gonna work really well here, those are things that you gotta think about. So yeah, so there it is. It looks really sad right now. I've been giving it some water, but nonetheless, it's in there. I can feel it. It's like real solid. Like I can't pull it out. So I know that there's roots down there in the bottom, and I am excited about that. There's my lettuce. It's gone crazy. I'm gonna eat it this week for sure, because it's starting to get so hot here. But my nephews will not like it, but it'll be fine for me. So that's what we have going on. And yeah, so flowers are still doing good. I gotta make some more jelly, y'all. Like, look, this is the time to be making it. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I always enjoy that. I mean, I come out here every day and I'm checking it out and looking at it. I haven't seen any flowers come up on my pepper, my hot pepper, but oh look, there's a flower right there. I spoke too soon. There it is. Two little flowers actually, so be good. Get us some little spicy peppers going on. And then look at all these seeds, like, dang. Look at that. All that's going to seed. I'm gonna let it just go back to seed in the bed. And then we got some, I gotta cut this parsley. Parsley's good for detox too. It's just good in general. It pulls metals, heavy metals out of the body. That's a nice grouping of parsley for me. So I'm gonna be freeze drying. I wish I had a freeze dryer. I'm gonna be dehydrating that. You don't get as much nutrients when you do that, but hey, listen y'all, we got to be thinking, man. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, listen, times are gonna get real hard real soon. Like, I don't think people are really, I think they're just still living in la la land, and they're like, oh, it's gonna be great, like everything's gonna be so good. And I'm like, friends, listen, my grandmother taught me about the Depression. Like, that weighed so heavy on her. Like, she taught me the way, man. She was like, listen, she lived on onions and stuff that people just nowadays they would turn their nose up to it and be like, oh my god, you had an onion sandwich? Like, yeah bro, you're hungry, you're gonna eat an onion sandwich, man. Smear a little bit of mayo up on that bad boy and call it a day. Like, you know, make yourself some bread. So all right, I'm gonna get out here and I'm gonna start planting some more of these yellow wax beans in this area where my cabbage is. I gotta clear a couple little spots right here. Yes, and we are gonna get our little wax beans going over here. I think I must just be in a really like bean mode because I have literally just been buying a bunch of like long beans, or I planted long beans. I didn't actually really have to buy too many of those, but yeah, I've been wanting them. So And all I do is I just pull back the mulch. I'll bring you guys down, see? I just pull back the mulch here. And then I just plant them. Like, these look like baby tomatoes, so I'm gonna let those stay because I'm pretty sure that's what they are. And that's what I'm saying. If you just wanna grow, then you grow. God bless you. Like, I'm not gonna... And I'm gonna plant these kind of close to this cabbage because what's gonna happen... is, honestly, like, once I pull this cabbage out, then the beans, they'll kind of be coming along right at the same time. And we can just have the beans and then be good to go. Now, I did have asparagus over here in this bed, and I honestly would love to get some more asparagus growing. Now, asparagus takes a couple of years, and I had planted it right before that hurricane came through. So unfortunately, we didn't get a lot of growth time before they got whacked by the storm. But yeah, man, I've got a bunch of baby tomatoes. Look, there's a baby tomato. There's a baby tomato. There's 3 baby tomatoes coming up here. Over here, look, baby tomato right there, baby tomato right there. Look, there are like 4 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, look, 5, 6, 7, 8 baby tomatoes coming up. And see, that's how God blesses me, because you turn right around and I don't even have to think about planting. God's bringing it to me. So that's my kind of growing. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Lord Jesus, for the tomatoes. God tells me what I need sometimes, you know. I don't have to be forceful and get stuff planted and just let it be what it is, you know, like, just kind of works out sometimes. So yeah, so I'm gonna keep planting these beans, and I'm very excited about this, and I'm really hoping we're gonna have a great garden year. You know, that's what you do, is you just pray that God will bless the garden, and that the guardian of gardens is looking over us and just keeping each and every one of you who are out there growing safe and protected, and your garden is protected, and that God will bring you exactly what you need, right? That's what we say. We just that's giving God the glory right there. So for me anyway, some people don't believe in that, but that's what I believe. I believe Mother Earth and the good Lord are on my side to help me get this garden going, so, and being successful for my family. You know, God wants you to work. You don't just walk around and get something for free. You got to put in some effort for it and just do the best that you can. So, and I actually want to thank my new subscribers. I have quite a few little new subscribers that have come, so bless each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much for joining me and being a part of this journey. This is such a wonderful blessing to be able to take a break from counseling and therapy and work and come out here and just enjoy the blessings of the garden. And then to have you guys join me, it just means so much. Thank you for subscribing. That little bit of subscription really does help out a small channel like me, and it just gets people hopefully excited about growing and just kind of doing better for themselves and really thinking about the world around them. Remember, Growing Zone 9B is not just about, you know, gardening. This is growing through life, growing through change, and us just being a part of a community that we are learning together, and hopefully we are you know, going to be prosperous and successful, and we're just going to have lots of things to talk about and share with each other in the comments. So all right, everyone, until next time, love one another, be kind, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video.